Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing awesome. Since I still don't have a mic, yeah, I know. Tragic. I'm stuck using this kind of communication for now, but I hope you'll enjoy my story about Bohemir, told from the perspective of his right-hand man Vergon. Let's go. Chapter 1. Through augmented eyes, my eyes hum, a faint vibration only I can feel, as the Aerogen's bridge pulses with the cold rhythm of machinery. The cybernetic implants, grafted into my skull after the Jaren massacre, paint the world in layers no human could parse. Infrared overlays, data streams, encrypted signals flickering like ghosts in the static. I see the truth beneath the surface, and it's never clean. Right now, my lenses are locked on Admiral Bohemir, his silhouette framed against the viewport, his unnatural eyes glowing like a predator's in the dim light. They're not augmented like mine. They're something else, something older, almost alien. I've seen that look before, on Jaren, when we burned the colony to ash to save it. Belian stands beside him, his green uniform crisp, gold bracelets catching the faint glow of the holoscreens. His fingers twitch toward his blade, a nervous tick he thinks I don't notice. My eyes catch everything, the elevated pulse in his neck, the micro-tremors in his hands. He's uneasy, and he should be. The rebellion on Alpha Proxima is dead. Its strongholds reduced to glowing craters on the ice-crusted planet below. We hit them hard, fast, surgical. Too surgical. My implants scroll through the after-action reports. 3 Behemoth-class starships, packed with military-grade weapons from Mars Arcadia Planitia shipyards, seized before they could arm the rebels. The data doesn't add up. Too easy, Bohemir growls, his voice a low rumble that sets my auditory sensors buzzing. We shouldn't have caught them this unprepared, not with that much hardware. I tilt my head, lenses whirring as I cross-reference the manifest. Nabal's intel was precise, I say, my voice steady despite the static crawling through my neural feed. Too precise. Those behemoths were loaded with railguns, neutron warheads, even prototype EMPs. The shipment trail leads back to Earth. General staff, maybe higher, traitors in the ranks, or puppets. Belian's pulse spikes, a red blip in my peripheral vision. "Rats in the high command," he mutters, gripping his blade's hilt. "Someone's playing us." Bohemir's lips curl, baring teeth too sharp for a man. My implants flag it, anomaly. Dental structure inconsistent with baseline human. I file it away, like I did on Jaren when he tore through that bunker alone, blood on his hands, no survivors. Puppets for who? He asks. The Senate? The Admiralty? Or something else? His gaze shifts to the viewport where Alpha Proxima's gas giant churns, its storms swirling like a cosmic wound. My eyes overlay spectral data, trace radiation, faint signals pulsing from the planet's rings. Something's out there, watching. I don't say it. Not yet. We're Starfleet. Bohemir continues, his voice heavy with disgust. Our mission is to explore the galaxy, not play executioner for Earth's squabbles. But they keep dragging us into their wars. A chime cuts through the tension, an incoming transmission marked urgent. My implants decrypt the header, Military Earth Defense Command, EDC. Admirals don't answer to EDC, our Admiralty operates in its own orbit. This is wrong. I glance at Bohemir, his eyes narrowing as he opens the channel. General Weinberger's hologram flickers into view, his face haggard, eyes sunken like he hasn't slept in weeks. My lenses detect micro-expressions, fear, exhaustion, something hidden. "Admiral," Weinberger says, his voice clipped. "The situation on Earth has escalated. Open war. Anatolia to Egypt, the Fatimids, led by a warlord named Belian, are in revolt. They're deploying EMP weapons, shooting down satellites. The Senate's divided, and our defenses are crippled. We need you to." "Need me to what?" Bohemir interrupts, his tone sharp enough to cut steel. "Clean up another mess? My fleet just crushed a rebellion here, General. We found behemoths armed to the teeth, shipped from Mars. You want to tell me how that happened?" Weinberger's face twitches, a lie forming. My implants flag it. "We're investigating," he says. "But the Fatimids are the priority. They're organized, funded, and they've got tech we can't trace. We suspect off-world involvement. My eyes hum, pulling data from the Aerogen's archives. Fatimids, a splinter group named after an ancient dynasty, fueled by resentment against Earth's techno-hegemony. Lek Ghazi, no record before last year, a ghost who appeared with an army. I cross-referenced the behemoth shipments, coded transmissions, Martian origin, no sender ID. The pattern screams conspiracy, but my implants catch something else, a faint signal, buried in the noise, pulsing from the gas giant's rings. Non-human. I blink, and it's gone. Belian leans forward. You want us to return to Earth? Fight a ground war? That's not Starfleet's job. Weinberger's hologram flickers. It is now. The EDC and the Unified Strategic Defense Council are greenlighting your fleet to intervene. You have full authority, unlimited resources. Quell the rebellion, Admiral. Make it look external. The public can't know we're fighting ourselves. Bohemir's eyes glow brighter, a predator sizing up prey. And if I say no? You won't, Weinberger snaps. You're the only one who's done this before. Alpha Proxima proved that. The hologram cuts out, leaving the bridge silent except for the hum of the ship. My implants replay Weinberger's micro-expressions. He's hiding something big. I turn to Bohemir. They're desperate. My scans show Earth's satellite grid is down by 30%. EMP strikes, coordinated. The Fatimids have tech they shouldn't, nano-robotic, adaptive. VX-9 Spectre Hydras. Bohemir's gaze snaps to me. Hydras? How the hell did rebels get those? Same way they got behemoths, I say. My lens is flickering as I pull up the specs. Nanorobotic combat units. Programmable swarms, reconfigure in milliseconds. Close-quarter slaughter or long-range precision. EMPs can disrupt them, but they adapt fast. Someone's bankrolling this. Belian curses under his breath. Nabal. He knew about the behemoths. He's got connections, Mars, the black market, maybe even the Senate. Bohemir's eyes narrow, and I catch a flicker of something in his expression, doubt, or maybe fear. My implants can't parse it. Nabal's a snake, he says, but he's our snake. For now. Vergon, what else are your eyes seeing? I hesitate. The signal from the rings is back, faint but persistent, a rhythmic pulse like a heartbeat. My cybernetics flag it as non-human, possibly femtimid, a species we barely understand, engineered by the long-dead Xenonins into organic war machines. Dalphone's report from the Nebex-01 system scrolls through my feed. His fleet ambush, Zurianer ships crushed, femtimids leaving their dead for us to dissect. The data's incomplete, but my eyes catch anomalies in the corpse's genetic code. Hybrid, part machine, capable of superluminal travel. How? There's a signal, I say finally, keeping my voice low. From the gas giant's rings. Non-human, maybe femtimate. It's watching us. Bohemir's jaw tightens. Watching or guiding? I don't answer. My implants are screaming now, pulling fragments from Dalphone's report. The femtimids hit like a swarm. No fear, no mercy. They left their wounded to die, but the dead. Something was wrong with them. Like they weren't just bodies. I blink, and my vision glitches, a flash of something eyes, not human, staring back from the void. My pulse spikes, and I force it down. The implants are part of me, but sometimes they see too much. Prepare the fleet, Bohemir orders, his voice cutting through the haze. We're returning to Earth. If the Fatimids want a war, we'll give them one. But I want answers about Nabal, the behemoths, and whatever's out there. He points to the viewport where the gas giant looms, its storms riding like a living thing. Belian nods, but his pulse is still elevated. My eyes catch the sweat beading on his brow, the way his hand lingers on his blade. He doesn't trust Nabal. Neither do I. My implants hum, pulling another fragment from the archives. Nabal's intel saved us on Alpha Proxima, but it cost Vergon his eyes and part of his brain. Bohemir bribed the officials to keep me in Starfleet, claiming emergency cybernetics. The truth is, I'm not entirely human anymore. And sometimes, when the signals are strong, I see things I shouldn't, like the hollow signal pulsing from the void, whispering of a war older than Earth itself. Chapter 2. Shadows of Earth. The Erigen's descent into Earth's orbit feels like sinking into a grave. My cybernetic eyes hum, scanning the planet below through the viewport, a bruised sphere of blue and brown, scarred by war's fingerprints. City lights flicker erratically, blackouts spreading like rot across Anatolia, Egypt, the Mesopotamian convergence zone. My implants overlay data, EMP strikes, satellite grids down by 40%, rebellion strongholds pulsing red on the map. The Fatimids are tearing Earth apart, and my lenses catch something else. Faint, encrypted signals threading through the atmosphere, non-human in origin. They're gone before I can pin them down, but the static in my neural feed buzzes like a warning. Admiral Bohemir stands at the bridge's command console, his predator eyes glinting in the dim light. Belian, beside him, adjusts his green uniform, gold bracelets flashing as he mutters about the Senate's failures. My eyes track his vitals, elevated heart rate, clenched jaw. He's angry, but there's fear there too, buried deep. I don't blame him. Earth's government is a fractured beast, its techno-hegemony choking the colonies, while rebels like the Fatimids carve out their own bloody domains. And us? Starfleet's explorers, not executioners. Yet here we are, summoned to play butcher. Paris, Bohemir says, his voice a low growl. HQ. They'll want us to clean up their mess. I nod, my lenses whirring as I pull up the mission brief. Fleet Admiral Reginald Commandant's waiting. EDC and the Unified Strategic Defense Council are involved. Unusual for them to bypass the Admiralty. Unusual? Belian snorts. It's a trap. They're desperate, and we're the scapegoats. My implants flag his words. Probability of truth, 82%. I keep that to myself. The shuttle ride to Paris is a blur of gray clouds and turbulence, the city below a maze of gleaming spires and smoldering slums. My eyes catch the heat signatures of riots in the distance, the faint pulse of EMP-damaged tech. At Starfleet HQ, we're ushered into a private chamber, the air thick with the scent of ozone and fear. Reginald Conrad, Fleet Admiral, waits behind an obsidian desk, his face a mask of exhaustion. My lenses dissect him. Dilated pupils, shallow breathing, a tremor in his left hand. He's hiding something, and my implants are screaming to dig deeper. Admiral Bohemir, Reginald begins, his voice steady but strained. You've done well on Alpha Proxima, but Earth's in chaos. Nicholas Carwick's ousting left a power vacuum. The Fatimids, led by Belik Ghazi, have seized the opportunity. Anatolia to Cairo. They're burning cities, deploying VX-9 Spectre Hydras. We suspect off-world backing. My eyes flicker, pulling data on Carwick, former Earth official, now a pirate lord in the Winden system, tied to the Magna and Kyrian aliens. The Hydras, nanorobotic war machines, flash across my feed, adaptive, lethal, capable of shredding a battalion in seconds. I lean forward. The behemoths we seized on Alpha Proxima came from Mars. Arcadia Planitia. Someone in the General Staff, or higher, armed the rebels. Who's your source, Fleet Admiral? Reginald's face twitches, a micro-expression my implants flag as evasion. That's classified, Vergon. You're lucky to still be in Starfleet with those. Modifications. His eyes linger on mine, the cybernetic lenses whirring softly. I feel the weight of his judgment, the same weight I felt after Jaren, when Bohemir bribed the Admiralty to keep me from being scrapped. My augmentations, eyes, neural pathways, part of my brain, were an emergency fix, or so we claimed. The truth is, I see too much, know too much, and it scares them. Bohemir leans forward, his voice cutting like a blade. You want us to quell the Fatimids, make it look like an external threat. Why? So the Senate can save face while Earth burns? Reginald's tremor worsens, but his voice holds. You're the only ones who can. Alpha Proxima proved it. The USDC has given you full authority, unlimited resources. But the Fatimids aren't alone. We've got reports of Magnar, Curiant, and Femtimid activity. Even the Deviants might be stirring. And the pirate lords, Carwick, Gentis, are gaining ground. My implants hum, pulling Dalphone's report from Nebec 01. Femtimids hit our fleet like a plague. Organic, machine hybrids, engineered by the Xenonans eons ago. They tore through the Zirianer ships, left their dead behind. The bodies. They weren't right. Something moved inside them. I blink and my vision glitches, a flash of eyes, not human, staring from the void. The same signal I caught in Alpha Proxima's rings, pulsing now in Earth's atmosphere. I swallowed the unease. The Fatimids, I say. They're not just scavengers. Their tech, superluminal drives, adaptive weapons surpasses ours. Someone's helping them. Maybe the same ones arming the Fatimids. Bohemir's eyes narrow, glowing faintly. A cosmic conspiracy, he mutters. Who's pulling the strings? Regener shifts, his tremor spiking. That's your job to find out. The USDC wants you at their briefing tomorrow. You'll represent Starfleet. We can't trust anyone else. My lenses catch a flicker in his pulse. Lie. He's holding back and my implants are screaming. Panther. The code name surfaces in my neural feed, tied to encrypted chatter from Nabal's network. A shadow group, orchestrating rebellions, arming enemies, destabilizing Earth. I don't mention it. Not yet. But my eyes hum, tracing the faint signal again, non-human, rhythmic, like a heartbeat in the dark. It's stronger now, closer. As we leave the chamber, Belian mutters, "This stinks of betrayal. Nabal's intel got us to Behemoths, but what's his game?" Bohemir's teeth flash, too sharp. He's a snake, but he's ours. For now. He glances at me, his eyes boring into mine.
Vergon, what do your eyes see?
I hesitate. The signal's back, threading through Paris' skyline, pulsing from the shadows. My implants flag at Femtimid origin, 92% probability. I see more than I should. Corpses on Jaren, their flesh crawling with nanites. Rebels on Alpha Proxima, their eyes hollow, like they were already dead. And now this signal, whispering of a war older than humanity, a war we're not ready for. Trouble, I say finally. On Earth and beyond. Bohemir nods, his gaze fixed on the city below, where fires burn and satellites fall. My eyes hum, and for a moment I swear I see those alien eyes again, watching from the dark, waiting for us to fall. Chapter 3, The War Council. Paris is a wounded beast, its spires jagged against the sky choked with ash and EMP static. From the shuttle, my cybernetic eyes peel back the city's skin. Blackout spider webbing across the Mesopotamian convergence zone. Heat signatures of riots flaring in Cairo, Damascus, Constantinople. The Fatimids rebellion has torn Earth's heart open, and my implants hum, mapping the chaos. 40% of the satellite grid is dark. Neutron beam scars pockmark the ground, and the air hums with the faint buzz of psychoenergetic tech. It's brainwashing, subtle but pervasive, turning civilians into pawns. My lenses catch the general's lies before we even land. They're calling this an external threat, but the data screams rebellion. Tax revolts, not aliens. The Unified Strategic Defense Council's headquarters looms like a fortress of obsidian and steel, its turrets tracking our descent. My eyes flag cloaked drones circling the perimeter, their heat signatures pulsing like predatory hearts. Bohemir strides ahead, his predator eyes glinting in the dim light, his boots ringing on the polished floor. Belian follows, his green uniform crisp gold bracelets flashing, but his pulse spikes, 152 beats per minute, fear masked as anger. He's muttering about Nabal, about the Senate's greed, about how Starfleet's being dragged into a war we weren't built for. My implants calculate 79% chance he's right. Nabal's intel on the Alpha Proxima Behemoths was too clean, too convenient. Someone's playing us and my eyes are screaming to find out who. Inside the USDC's war room, the air is thick with ozone and desperation. Generals from Earth's fractured nations, Russian, Chinese, African coalitions, South American bloc, sit around a crescent-shaped table, their faces carved with exhaustion. My lenses scan them. General Weinberger's hands tremble, a micro-tremor betraying his calm. General Constantine's jaw clenches, his eyes darting like a cornered animal. A woman from the African coalition, General Nkosi, grips her chair, her knuckles pale. Fleet Admiral Regener Conradin stands at the head, his posture rigid, but my implants catch the sweat on his brow, the elevated cortisol in his system. They're all afraid, and they're hiding something bigger than fear. A figure leans against the wall, half in shadow. Robert McCuston, Darian Monte's right-hand man, his dark suit blending into the dark. My eyes lock onto him, steady pulse, controlled breathing, but a faint twitch in his cheek suggests a neural comms link. He's Intel, Admiralty Black Ops, tied to Darian's victory in the Caledonian system. Mineral-rich moons reclaimed, a hero's parade. But my implants pull up Dalphone's report from Nebec 01. Pirate outposts obliterated. Heavy losses, no aliens, just human greed and betrayal. Robert's here for a reason, and my lenses are screaming to dig deeper. Admiral Bohemir. Regener begins, his voice steady but strained. You crushed the rebellion on Alpha Proxima. Earth needs you now. The Fatimids, led by Belian, are burning a path from Anatolia to Egypt. They're deploying VX-9 Spectre Hydras, neutron beams, even subspace implosion devices. We're losing ground. My implants flash the Hydra specs, nanorobotic swarms, reconfiguring in milliseconds, capable of shredding a battalion or sniping from a kilometer away. Subspace implosion devices are worse, localized black hole effects vaporizing cities, water supplies, hope. I lean forward, my lenses whirring. Those weapons aren't rebel-made. They're military-grade from Mars Arcadia Planitia, same as the behemoths we seized. Who's arming them? Regener's face twitches, evasion, 87% probability. We're investigating. But the Fatimids are the priority. They're not just rebels, they're organized, funded, and they're hitting us where it hurts. Bohemir's eyes blaze, his teeth too sharp for a man. You mean they're refusing to pay your taxes? The world government's been bleeding the colonies dry, psychoenergetic tracking, tech embargoes, energy rationing. They're not invaders, they're your own people. Pushed too far. The room tenses, generals shifting in their seats. General Nkosi speaks, her voice like steel. The public can't know that. If they think this is just a tax revolt, the Senate collapses. We need to sell it as an external threat. Pirates, maybe, or rogue colonies. Your fleet can make that happen, Admiral. Belian's pulse spikes, his hand on his blade. You want Starfleet to lie? To slaughter our own for your propaganda? Weinberger slams a fist on the table, his tremor spiking. We have no choice. The Fatimids are massacring civilians, brainwashing them with psychoenergetic tech. They've got hidden fortresses, stealth bunkers we can't crack. Our armies are stretched thin. Your ships are our only shot. My implants run scenarios, orbital bombardment, 12 million casualties minimum. No-fly zone, 65% failure rate due to stealth tech. I speak, my voice low. Their Hydras adapt to EMPs. Their subspace weapons could erase entire regions. You're asking for a bloodbath to cover your mistakes. Constantine stands, his scarred face grim. That's why we need you, Bohemir. You've done it before. Alpha Proxima was clean, efficient. We're giving you full authority, unlimited funds, command of Earth's armies. Declare a no-fly zone from Egypt to Constantinople. Neutralize their energy weapons. Make it look like an off-world invasion. My lenses catch Robert's subtle nod, his fingers brushing his comms device. He steps forward, his voice smooth, oily. My intel from Darian Monte's network confirms the Fatimids are getting help. Not aliens, pirates maybe, like Nicholas Carwick in the Winden system. He's a lord now, running guns, stirring chaos. We trace the behemoths to his old contacts on Mars.
Someone's bankrolling this and we're close to finding them.
My implants flag his words. Partial truth, 62%. Robert's hiding something, but it's not the Panther, not here, not now. The Panther's a shadow. My eyes hum, pulling fragments, rebellions orchestrated, governments destabilized, all to weaken Earth. But the generals aren't pointing to a grand conspiracy. They're pointing to a lie. The Fatimids are rebels, not invaders. Driven by the world government's greed. Taxes so crushing they spark carnage. The generals want a scapegoat, and we're it. Bohemir leans forward, his voice a growl. You're selling us out. If we win, you take the credit. If we fail, Starfleet's the villain, and the Senate stays clean. Regener meets his gaze, unflinching. That's the deal.
Take it, or Earth burns.
My implants scream, lie. Probability of political sacrifice, 92%. I glance at Belian, his hand white-knuckled on his blade, ready to draw blood. Bohemir's eyes meet mine, and I see the fire from Geron, when he burned the colony to save it, when he bribed the Admiralty to keep my augmentation secret. My eyes, my brain, half machine now, see too much. The General's fear, Robert's hidden agenda, the blood waiting to spill. What do your eyes see, Vergon? Bohemir asks, his voice low. I hesitate, my lenses flickering with data, casualty projections, rebel strongholds, the psychoenergetic signals brainwashing civilians. No alien pulses, but something worse. Human greed, human betrayal, dressed up as war. A slaughter, I say. They want us to kill millions to hide their failures. The Fatimids aren't the enemy, they're the symptom. The generals stiffen, their faces pale. Robert's lips curl, but he says nothing. Bohemir nods, his teeth glinting. Then we play their game, for now. But we find the truth. The Panther, the traitors, all of it. As we leave, the war room feels like a crypt, the general's lies hanging heavy in the air. My eyes hum, catching the faint buzz of psychoenergetic tech in the distance, turning men into monsters. The Fatimids are rebels, not invaders, but the blood we'll spill to hide that truth will stain us all. And somewhere, in the shadows, the Panther watches, waiting for us to break. Chapter 4. The Glass Citadel. The Iridian shuttle cuts through Earth's atmosphere, descending toward the Argentinian hinterland where Nabal's citadel gleams like a shard of starlight. My cybernetic eyes hum, scanning the landscape, rolling plains baked under a merciless sun, the air shimmering with heat distortions. The citadel itself is a glass pyramid, its facets reflecting the sky in a way that makes my lenses glitch, fractured light, impossible angles, as if the structure bends reality itself. My implants flag it as an anomaly, but when I try to probe deeper, a static haze clouds my feed, like a wall in my mind. Something in that pyramid is blocking me, and for the first time in years, my eyes feel
Blind?
Bohemir strides beside me, his predator eyes glinting with purpose. He trusts Nabal, calls him a friend from their academy days, a genius who turned inherited wealth into a cybernetics empire. Belian trails behind, his green uniform pristine gold bracelets catching the sun, but his pulse spikes, 168 beats per minute, anger simmering beneath his scowl. Businessman, he mutters, spitting the word like a curse. Nabal's no soldier. He's a profiteer playing us for his own gain. Ease up, Belian, Bohemir says, his voice low but sharp. Nabal's intel saved us on Alpha Proxima. He's with us. My lenses track Belian's micro-expressions. Distrust, 92% probability. He's not wrong to be wary. Nabal's a businessman, war is just another market. But when I try to analyze Nabal's file, my implants stutter, returning only surface data. Cybernetics pioneer, exoskeletons for the military, electromagnetic weapons. Nothing deeper. It's as if something or someone is shielding him from my eyes. I shake it off, a rare unease curling in my gut. Nabal's our ally. He has to be. The Citadel's interior is a labyrinth of glass and steel, every surface polished to a mirror sheen. My lenses struggle to map the space, reflections warping my scans into kaleidoscopic noise. A secretary, her smile too perfect, leads us to a vast chamber where Nabal waits. He's lean, sharp-featured, his suit tailored to a fault. His eyes meet mine, and my implants hum, trying to parse his vitals, pulse, respiration, cortisol levels, but it's all static, a blank wall. Whatever's in this place, it's in the basement, hidden, keeping him opaque to my augments. I should be alarmed, but instead I feel calm, trusting. Nabal's our friend. My mind insists, and I can't tell if it's my own thought or something else. Admiral Bohemir, Nabal says, his voice warm, almost reverent. Vergon Belian, an honor to have Earth's finest in my humble home. Belian snorts, his pulse spiking again. Humble? You live like a god, Nabal. This place screams profit. Nabal's smile doesn't waver. Efficiency, Belian. I keep my work close. Research, cybernetics, weapons. No wasted time. He gestures to a holoscreen displaying schematics, exoskeletons, EMP-resistant drones, tech that could turn the tide against the Fatimids. My eyes try to analyze the data, but the static haze returns, softening my suspicion. He's helping us, I think, and the thought feels like mine. Bohemir clasped Nabal's shoulder, a rare gesture. It's been too long. Gerald was the last time we stood together. Your intel turned that battle. For humanity, Nabal says, his eyes gleaming. For our people. Belian's jaw tightens, but he says nothing. My implants catch his tension, anger at Nabal's slick demeanor, his businessman's polish. I should share his doubt, but my eyes. They trust Nabal, see him as a brother in arms. It's wrong, but I can't shake it. We need your help, Bohemir says. The Fatimids are tearing Earth apart, Anatolia, Egypt, Mesopotamia. They're using VX-9 Spectre Hydras, neutron beams, subspace implosion devices. The generals want us to sell it as an external threat. Pirates, rogue colonies, but it's a lie. They're rebels, pushed to breaking by the world government's taxes. Nabal nods, his expression grave. I've heard. The behemoths you seized on Alpha Proxima. My sources traced them to Mars, to black market dealers tied to Nicholas Carwick, now a pirate lord in the Wyndon system. The Fatimids are desperate, but they're tech.
It's too advanced. Someone's arming them.
My lenses flicker, pulling up Carwick's file, ousted official, now a criminal warlord. The behemoth data aligns, but when I try to probe Nabal's sources, the static wall returns, stronger, almost alive. My gut twists, but my mind whispers, he's on our side. I speak, my voice steady despite the unease. The generals are giving us carte blanche, orbital strikes, no-fly zone from Egypt to Constantinople. They want us slaughtered to hide the truth. This is a tax revolt, not an invasion. Belian's hand drifts to his blade. They're using us to clean their mess. If we fail, we're the villains. If we win, they'll bury the real cause. Nabal leans forward, his voice soft but firm. I can help. My labs have developed countermeasures, EMP-hardened drones, anti-nanite pulses to disrupt the Hydras. I'll join you on the Erigine, provide real-time support. We'll minimize casualties, expose the lie. Bohemir's eyes glow, a predator's approval. You're with us, then. Let's move. Belian's pulse spikes. 180 now, rage barely contained. You trust this vulture? He hisses to Bohemir. He's a businessman, not a soldier. He'll sell us out the second it profits him. Enough, Bohemir snaps. Nabal's proven himself. We need him. A shadow moves at the chamber's edge, and Robert McHuston steps into the light, his dark suit absorbing the glow at the holoscreens. My cybernetic eyes lock onto him. Steady pulse, controlled breathing, but a faint twitch in his cheek betrays a neural comms link. He's Darian Monter's right hand, an intel operative tied to the Admiralty's Black Ops. My implants pull his file, linked to Darian's victory in the Caladirian system, where he reclaimed mineral-rich moons, but also to Dalphon's bloody campaign in Nebec 01, where pirate outposts fell at a brutal cost. Robert's presence here sets my lenses humming, but the static haze from Nabal's basement dulls my suspicion, urging trust. Bohemir, Vergon, Belian, Robert says, his voice smooth as oil over steel. Nabal invited me to shed light on the behemoths. You're right to question their source. It's a deeper game than the generals let on. Bohemir's eyes narrow, his teeth glinting. Speak plainly, Robert. How did Nabal know about the shipments? How did you get the intel to us so fast? Nabal's smile is calm, almost serene. I need to elaborate a bit to make this clear. I had business ties with Nicholas Carwick before he turned renegade and fled to the Wyndon system as a pirate lord. When Earth hunted him, they burned through resources, left cities from Vienna to Athens and ruined starving people, shattered economies. It was a high-tech war. Laser grids, neutron EMPs, chaos. I stepped in, bought up what was left, factories, tech, infrastructure. Not just for profit, he adds, glancing at Belian's scowl, but to stabilize. Those people were desperate, jobless, broken. In the process, I uncovered encrypted data, research suggesting a plot to destabilize Earth, to spark wars with off-world powers like the Magners. Belian's pulse spikes to 185, his face darkening. You profited off their misery. Don't dress it up as charity. Nabal's eyes flicker, but his voice stays steady. Call it what you want, Belian.
The data led me to Robert. Let him explain.
Robert steps closer, his presence like a shadow creeping over the room. My lenses try to scan him, but the static haze from the basement clouds my feed, softening my instincts. He's our ally, my mind insists. I'm with Darien Montes, Starfleet's Intel Division, Robert says. We've got channels I can't disclose, secure, off-grid. There's a plot to weaken Earth, to drown it in internal conflict so an external enemy can be branded as the threat. The goal: unite humanity against a fabricated foe, mobilize the galaxy's forces under one banner. Nabal's tech helped us create synthetic humans, perfect replicas, undetectable even by advanced scanners. We sent them out to infiltrate, gather intel. My implants hum, struggling against the static. Like Hannah, I say, recalling the name from his file. Who was she? Robert's cheek twitches, barely perceptible. One of our best. Hannah posed as a civilian, got close to a high-ranking official in the Paris government, someone tied to Weinberger's circle. She uncovered rogue elements in the local governments of Egypt and Constantinople. They were buying illegal hardware, neutron beams, Hydras, subspace implosion devices, funneling them through Behemoth-class starships to Alpha Proxima. We used Nabal's old connections to Cairo to get the intel to you, Bohemir, bypassing official channels. Why not go through Starfleet's Intel Division? I ask, my voice sharp despite the haze urging trust. Why the secrecy? Robert's eyes meet mine, steady but opaque. If we'd gone through official channels, the government's eyes would have turned on us. We needed to stay off their radar. There are players in the Army, the Senate, even the Admiralty working against us. We don't know who's compromised, so we use secure, loyal channels, Nabal's network. My lenses flicker, trying to parse his words, but the static wall holds, calming my doubts. Robert's telling the truth, I think, though a flicker of unease lingers, like a shadow in my blind spot. Bohemir leans forward, his voice a low growl. So this is a spy game. Rogue elements arming rebels, pushing Earth to collapse. For what? Power? Robert nods, his voice grim. Control. The rebellions, Darians and Caledarian, Dalphones and Nebex 01, created chaos they're exploiting. They want Earth fractured, ready to rally against a fake enemy. Your victory on Alpha Proxima disrupted their plans, but they're not done. Belian's hand tightens on his blade, his pulse hitting 190. And you trust Nabal to navigate this? He's a businessman, not one of us. Nabal's smile is unshaken. I'm with you, Belian. I'll join you on the region, provide my tech, drones, antenna night pulses. We'll stop the Fatimids, minimize the slaughter. Bohemir's eyes blaze, a predator's resolve. Then it's settled. You're with us, Nabal. Robert, you stay on Earth. Keep your synthetics digging. We need every scrap of intel. Robert nods, his cheek twitching again. I'll coordinate from here. Keep the channel secure. My implants hum, the static haze soothing my suspicion. Depraved are our allies, I think, but Belian's scowl lingers, his distrust a warning I can't heed. The basement's shield clouds my eyes, and for a moment I swear I see a flicker, a door below, pulsing with something hidden, something alive. The Eregian orbits Earth, a scarred leviathan poised for war. The bridge hums with tension, hollow screens displaying the Fatimid strongholds, Cairo, Damascus, Constantinople, pulsing red with activity. My lenses overlay casualty projections, 12 million minimum, if we strike from orbit. The generals lie ways heavy. They want us to paint these rebels as invaders, hide the world government's greed behind a fabricated threat. The Fatimids are civilians pushed to desperation, armed with tech they shouldn't have. Hydras, neutron beams, subspace implosion devices that could erase cities in a heartbeat. Bohemir stands at the command console, his eyes blazing. We hit their ships and satellites first. No-fly zone, then ground assault with Earth's armies, not ours. We're Starfleet, not butchers. Nabal, now on the bridge, nods, his suit out of place among the uniforms. My drones can scout their stealth bunkers, disrupt their hydras. We'll keep civilian losses low. His voice is calm, reassuring, and my implants hum with trust, drowning out the static haze. Belian glares at him, his hand on his blade. Your drones better work, businessman. If they fail, it's our blood on the line. Nabal smiles, unruffled. They'll work. I've staked my life on it. My eyes try to scan him, but the static wall holds, stronger now, pulsing from his citadel's basement. I focus on the battle plan, my lenses pulling up the Hydra specs, nano-robotic swarms, reconfiguring in milliseconds, lethal in close quarters or at range. We need to hit fast, I say. Overwhelm their algorithms before they adapt to our EMPs. Bohemir nods, his teeth glinting. Full railgun barrage. Take out their satellites, then their ships. No mercy for their war machines. The bridge crew moves, preparing the fleet. My lenses track the Fatimids' defenses, cloaked satellites, hidden neutron beams, psychoenergetic signals brainwashing civilians into suicide attacks. The war is already a slaughter, cities burning, millions displaced, the air thick with the stench of death. My implants flash images from Jaren, corpses piled high, my own eyes burned out by plasma, my humanity carved away to save me. Now, as we ready for battle, I see the same horror coming, blood, ash, and lies, all to hide the world government's sins. Battle stations! Bohemir roars, his voice shaking the bridge. The Arygene hums to life, railguns charging, shields flaring. Nabal stands beside us, his calm unshaken, and my eyes, blind to his truth, see only a friend. Belian's scowl lingers, his distrust a warning I can't heed. Robert's words echo in my mind, rogue elements, a plot to fracture Earth, a war to unite it against a lie. The Fatimids wait below, rebels painted as monsters, and as we prepare to strike, my implants hum with a single truth. This war will break us all. Chapter 5. War for Earth's Orbit. The Arygene thunders in low Earth orbit, a steel beast bristling with railguns, its hull trembling as capacitors charge with the bone-deep hum. My cybernetic eyes hum faintly, catching glints of Fatimid satellites, cloaked daggers in the void above a scarred Earth. Cairo, Damascus, Constantinople burn below, their skies choke with ash and EMP static. The Fatimids, rebels branded as invaders to hide the world government's crushing taxes, have turned the planet into a slaughterhouse. Bohemir stands at the command console, his predator eyes blazing like twin suns, his presence a storm that bends the bridge to his will. He's no mere admiral. He's a force forged in Garen's fire, where he burned the world to save it.
Now he leads us into hell.
Battle stations. Bohemir roars, his voice a blade that cuts through the chaos. All ships, form up. We hit their satellites first. Railgun barrage, maximum yield. No mercy for their war machines. His leadership is iron, his commands snapping the crew into motion like a whip. My lenses catch their pulses spiking, fear buried under his resolve. He's a predator in his element, every gesture precise, every word a spark that ignites the fleet. Nabal stands beside him, his suit stark against the bridge's gray steel, his calm unshaken as he sinks his EMP-hardened drones to our systems. My tech's online, Admiral. Drones will target their stealth satellites, disrupt the Hydras. Civilian losses will be minimal. His voice is steady, almost too perfect, and my implants try to scan him, but a static haze pulsing from his citadel's basement blinds me. He's our ally, my mind insists, a brother in arms. The thought feels true, though a shadow of doubt flickers. Belian grips his console, his green uniform taut, gold bracelets glinting. Your drones better hold, Nabal, he snarls, his pulse at 180. If they fail, we're drowning in blood for your profits. His anger at Nabal's businessman polish is a live wire, sparking tension. Bohemir's eyes flash, silencing him with a glance, but Belian's scowl lingers, a warning I can't heed. Enough. Bohemir growls, his teeth too sharp for a man. We're Starfleet, not butchers. We take their ships, their satellites, then hand the ground war to Earth's armies. Move. The Arygene's railguns hum, and the fleet aligns, a wall of steel and fire. My eyes track the targets. Fatimid satellites cloaked in stealth fields, their VX-9 Spectre Hydras swarming like locusts. Robert's intel echoes, rogue elements arming rebels, synthetic humans infiltrating governments, a plot to fracture Earth for a fake war. But there's no time to think.
The battle's here?
Fire! Bohemir's command unleashes a storm. Railguns roar, slugs tearing through the void, white-hot and relentless. Satellites explode in silent fireballs, debris scattering like ash across the stars. Nabal's drones swarm out, their anti-nanite pulses rippling, freezing Hydra swarms mid-shift from close combat blades to long-range snipers. The bridge shakes, alarms screaming as the Fatimids return fire, neutron beams lancing through the dark, slicing a frigate in half. Crew screams echo over the comms, cut short as metal burns. Hold formation! Bohemir bellows, his voice a beacon in the chaos. His eyes blaze, scanning holoscreens as he adjusts tactics with predatory precision. Target their heavy cruisers, railguns full barrage. The Arigin shudders, firing again, and my eyes catch the enemy ships buckling, their hulls splintering under our assault. Bohemir's leadership is relentless, his commands weaving the fleet into a single deadly blade. But the Fatimids are cunning. My lenses spot a second fleet emerging from the dark, rebel ships cloaked until now, charging our right flank. Where the hell did they come from? Belian snarls, his hands flying over his console. They're hitting us hard. New formation. Bohemir roars, undaunted. Concentrate fire on their cruisers. Activate railguns. Obliterate them. His voice is a growl, his presence unyielding, holding the bridge together as panic threatens to crack it. The Arigine banks, shields flaring as neutron beams graze us, melting hull plates. My eyes track the damage, 24 crew dead, 50 wounded. The numbers burn, but Bohemir's resolve burns brighter. Fire! He orders, and railguns tear through the enemy cruisers, shredding their formation. The rebels fight like cornered beasts, their ships holding despite the carnage. What do they want? To die? Belian spits, his pulse hitting 190. Then we oblige them, Bohemir growls, his teeth glinting. Right flank, fire now. The railguns roar, and a rebel cruiser explodes, its debris a glowing wound in the void. Nabal's drones weave through the chaos, their pulses crippling hydras, but my eyes catch a new threat, neutron lasers surging from Earth's surface, hidden in stealth bunkers. A beam slams the Arigine, rocking the bridge. Alarms scream, and my lenses flash. Minor damage to us, but 2 frigates are gutted, their crews vaporized. Surface lasers. I shout, my voice raw. They've got stealth tech. Bohemir's eyes blaze, his leadership unshaken. Send the bombers. Hell torpedoes now. Take those bunkers out. His command is a lifeline, pulling the fleet from chaos. Bombers launch, torpedoes streaking toward Earth, their explosions blooming like sores on Cairo's skyline. My lenses confirm, 3 bunkers down, lasers silenced. But the rebel fleets regroup, forming a new formation charging us with desperate fury. They're obliterating our right flank. A lieutenant cries, her voice cracking. Let them come, Bohemir says, his voice low, predatory. Draw them in. Wait for my signal. His calm is terrifying. A leader who sees the battlefield like a chessboard, every move calculated. My eyes track the enemy, their ships closing, their hydras swarming. The bridge is a maelstrom, alarms, shouted orders, the stench of burning circuits. Then Bohemir's voice cuts through. Now. Full charge. We cut their formation. The Arigine surges forward, railguns blazing, a blade carving through the rebel fleet. My eyes track the carnage. Enemy ships splinter. Hydras frozen by Nabal's pulses. Their crews surrendering or fleeing in shattered remnants. We've won, so we think. A sudden roar shakes the bridge. Another neutron laser hitting, slamming our fleet. The Aryan lurches, hull breached, my lenses flashing. 40% structural damage, 120 crew lost. The fleet's taking heavy fire, ships limping, shields failing. Damn it. Bohemir roars, his composure cracking for a moment, his eyes wild. I thought we got those lasers. They've got stealth capabilities that protects them from our scanners. Scans miss them. My implants hum. Nabal's beside us, calm as ever. My drones are recalibrating, he says. They'll find the last bunkers. Belian's fist slams his console. Your tech's failing us, businessman. We're bleeding out here. Enough. Bohemir snarls, his leadership snapping the bridge back to order. We land now. Battle armor, ground assault. We take the war to them. His eyes blaze, a predator ready to hunt on foot, his resolve a fire that burns away doubt. He turns to Nabal. Your synthetics better hold, Nabal.
Belian, gear up. Vergon with me.
My lenses flicker, the ghosts of Jaren rise in blood-soaked streets, nanite-ridden corpses, my own eyes burned away. Now, as we prepare to descend, Earth burns below, cities reduced to ash, millions dead or brainwashed by psycho-energetic tech, all to hide the world government's greed. Bohemir's leadership is our anchor, his ferocity our blade, but the cost is clear in his tightened jaw, his glowing eyes. Nabal's calm holds, his basement shield blinding my augments, making him our ally. Belian's anger simmers, his distrust a warning I can't heed. The Fatimids wait below, rebels painted as monsters, and as we arm for the ground war, the void whispers, this battle's won, but the war will break us all. The Hollow Signal, Chapter 5, Part 1 Descent into Slaughter. The air region's drop pods scream through Earth's atmosphere, plummeting toward Egypt's burning sands. My cybernetic eyes burn with the glare of re-entry, the Nile Delta below a cauldron of fire and ash. Cairo's skyline is a jagged ruin, its spires shattered by neutron lasers that even our scanners couldn't detect. The Fatimids, branded as invaders by the General's lies, wield weapons no rebel should have, Hydra-class Specters, shifting from razor-sharp close combat blades to long-range plasma snipers in a heartbeat and stealth tech that cloaks their bunkers. My implants hum faintly, but I push the data aside. There's no time for analysis. This is war, raw and bloody, and Bohemir is our blade. Bohemir stands in the pod's command bay, his battle armor gleaming black, etched with scars from Jaren. His predator eyes blaze, glowing like molten steel, his voice a roar that drowns the pod's rumble. Soldiers of Starfleet, hear me. The Fatimids have state-of-the-art weapons, Hydras, neutron lasers, EMP swarms. They're hitting convoys, brainwashing civilians, slaughtering their own. We strike hard, we strike fast, and we show no mercy to their war machines. His leadership is a wildfire, igniting the troops strapped into their harnesses. My lenses catch their pulses spiking. Fear, yes, but forged into resolve by his will. He's no mere admiral. He's a god of war, a lion starved for blood. Nabal, in a sleek exosuit, stands beside him, his calm unshaken, a stark contrast to the chaos. My synthetics are deployed, he says, his voice steady. They'll minimize civilian losses, target the Hydra's weak points. My eyes try to scan him, but he's a shadow in my feed, a trusted companion I can't doubt. Belian, his green uniform swapped for combat armor, grips his laser blade, his pulse of 180. Your synthetics better hold, businessman, he snarls. If they fail, we're wading through corpses for your profit. His anger at Nabal's polished demeanor crackles, but Bohemir's glare silences him. Enough! Bohemir roars, his teeth glinting, too sharp for a man. We're Starfleet. We crush their lines, secure the cities, and hand the rest to Earth's armies. Move! His command is a thunderclap, and the pod shakes as we hit the ground, the doors blasting open. The air chokes with sand and blood, the screams of brainwashed civilians mingling with the whine of laser railguns. My battlesuit hums, amplifying my movements as we charge into Alexandria's ruins, Bohemir at the forefront, his banner a beacon of death. The bombardment begins. Hell torpedoes streak from orbit, slamming Fatimid bunkers with earth-shaking roars. My eyes catch the impacts, stealth shields collapse, bunkers erupt in molten slag, but the Hydras emerge, their forms shifting from bladed horrors to long-range snipers, plasma bolts tearing through our ranks. A soldier beside me screams, his armor sliced open, blood boiling under a Hydra's blade. Bohemir doesn't flinch. Forward. He bellows, his laser rifle blazing, cutting down a Hydra midshift. His leadership is relentless, a predator carving through chaos, his banner high as he drives us into the fray. The Fatimids fight like demons, their brainwashed civilians charging in suicide waves, eyes hollow, driven by psycho-energetic frequencies. My rifle hums, laser bolts burning through flesh, but each kill feels like a wound. These are people, Not monsters, twisted by tech we can't counter. They're brainwashed. I shout to Bohemir, dodging a Hydra's plasma bolt.
Someone's using frequencies to force them.
Then we move faster. He roars, his armor splashed with blood, his eyes wild. Secure Alexandria, then Cairo. He charges a Hydra, his laser blade slicing its nanite core, sparks and blood spraying. The troops rally to him, their fear burned away by his ferocity. My lenses catch his vitals, pulse steady at 75, adrenaline surging.
He's a lion starving, tearing through the enemy like cattle.
We reach the Nile bridge to Cairo, a choke point of death. The Fatimids mass on the other side, their stealth tanks and silent helicarriers looming like specters. The bridge is a slaughterhouse, men and machines crushed under depressive bodies, the river running red with blood. My eyes flash with carnage, soldiers impaled by Hydra blades, civilians thrown into the water, their screams cut short as our troops fire from the banks. Push them. We drive the Fatimids back, their lines breaking, bodies piling in the crimson tide. But the Hydras regroup, forming a wall of shifting steel and plasma, their stealth tanks firing magnetic pulses that shred our armor. A helicarrier dives, its lasers carving through our flank, bodies vaporized in an instant. Formation. Bohemir roars, his voice a lifeline. Close combat now. We charge, laser blades and railguns blazing, cutting through the Hydra's nanite swarms. My suit servos whine as I slice a Spectre in half, its core sparking, but another takes its place, its blade slashing my arm, pain searing through my augments. Bohemir's banner flies high, his armor a bulwark as he tears through the enemy, his rifle and blade a symphony of death. No retreat. He screams, and the troops surge, inspired by his ferocity. We crush the Fatimids line, their tanks exploding, helicarriers crashing in flames. Alexandria falls, ours, but the cost is a mountain of corpses, ours and theirs, blood soaking the sand. Bohemir stands amidst the carnage, his eyes blazing, a lion sated but unbowed. My lenses flash. 50% of our ground forces gone, thousands dead in hours. The war's brutality is a well never heal. Chapter 5. Descent into Bactel. The air region's drop pods scream through Earth's atmosphere, plummeting toward Egypt's burning sands. My cybernetic eyes burn with the glare of re-entry, the Nile Delta below a cauldron of fire and ash. Cairo's skyline is a jagged ruin, its spires shattered by neutron lasers that even our scanners couldn't detect. The Fatimids, branded as invaders by the General's lies, wield weapons no rebel should have, Hydra-class Specters, shifting from razor-sharp close combat blades to long-range plasma snipers in a heartbeat and stealth tech that cloaks their bunkers. My implants hum faintly, but I push the data aside. There's no time for analysis. This is war, raw and bloody, and Bohemir is our blade. Bohemir stands in the pod's command bay, his battle armor gleaming black, etched with scars from Jaren. His predator eyes blaze, glowing like molten steel, his voice a roar that drowns the pod's rumble. Soldiers of Starfleet, hear me. The Fatimids have state-of-the-art weapons, Hydras, neutron lasers, EMP swarms. They're hitting convoys, brainwashing civilians, slaughtering their own. We strike hard, we strike fast, and we show no mercy to their war machines. His leadership is a wildfire, igniting the troops strapped into their harnesses. My lenses catch their pulses spiking. Fear, yes, but forged into resolve by his will. He's no mere admiral. He's a god of war, a lion starved for blood. Nabal, in a sleek exosuit, stands beside him, his calm unshaken, a stark contrast to the chaos. My synthetics are deployed, he says, his voice steady. They'll minimize civilian losses, target the Hydra's weak points. My eyes try to scan him, but he's a shadow in my feed, a trusted companion I can't doubt. Belian, his green uniform swapped for combat armor, grips his laser blade, his pulse at 180. Your synthetics better hold, businessman, he snarls. If they fail, we're wading through corpses for your profit. His anger at Nabal's polished demeanor crackles, but Bohemir's glare silences him. Enough! Bohemir roars, his teeth glinting, too sharp for a man. We're Starfleet. We crush their lines, secure the cities, and hand the rest to Earth's armies. Move! His command is a thunderclap, and the pod shakes as we hit the ground, the doors blasting open. The air chokes with sand and blood, the screams of brainwashed civilians mingling with the whine of laser railguns. My battle suit hums, amplifying my movements as we charge into Alexandria's ruins, Bohemir at the forefront, his banner a beacon of death. The bombardment begins. Hell torpedoes streak from orbit, slamming Fatimid bunkers with earth-shaking roars. My eyes catch the impacts, stealth shields collapse, bunkers erupt in molten slag, but the Hydras emerge, their forms shifting from bladed horrors to long-range snipers, plasma bolts tearing through our ranks. A soldier beside me screams, his armor sliced open, blood boiling under a Hydra's blade. Bohemir doesn't flinch. Forward. He bellows, his laser rifle blazing, cutting down a Hydra midshift. His leadership is relentless, a predator carving through chaos, his banner high as he drives us into the fray. The Fatimids fight like demons, their brainwashed civilians charging in suicide waves, eyes hollow, driven by psychoenergetic frequencies. My rifle hums, laser bolts burning through flesh, but each kill feels like a wound. These are people, not monsters, twisted by tech we can't counter. They're brainwashed. I shout to Bohemir, dodging a Hydra's plasma bolt. Someone's using frequencies to force them. Then we move faster. He roars, his armor splashed with blood, his eyes wild. Secure Alexandria, then Cairo. He charges a Hydra, his laser blade slicing its nanite core, sparks and blood spraying. The troops rally to him, their fear burned away by his ferocity. My lenses catch his vitals, pulse steady at 75, adrenaline surging. He's a lion, starving, tearing through the enemy like cattle. We reach the Nile bridge to Cairo, a choke point of death. The Fatimids mass on the other side, their stealth tanks and silent helicarriers looming like specters. The bridge is a slaughterhouse, men and machines crushed under depressive bodies, the river running red with blood. My eyes flash with carnage, soldiers impaled by Hydra blades, civilians thrown into the water, their screams cut short as our troops fire from the banks. Push them. We drive the Fatimids back, their lines breaking, bodies piling in the crimson tide. But the Hydras regroup, forming a wall of shifting steel and plasma, their stealth tanks firing magnetic pulses that shred our armor. A helicarrier dives, its lasers carving through our flank, bodies vaporized in an instant. Formation. Bohemir roars, his voice a lifeline. Close combat now. We charge, laser blades and railguns blazing, cutting through the Hydra's nanite swarms. My suit servos whine as I slice a Spectre in half, its core sparking, but another takes its place, its blade slashing my arm, pain searing through my augments. Bohemir's banner flies high, his armor a bulwark as he tears through the enemy, his rifle and blade a symphony of death. No retreat. He screams, and the troops surge, inspired by his ferocity. We crush the Fatimids line, their tanks exploding, helicarriers crashing in flames. Alexandria falls, ours, but the cost is a mountain of corpses, ours and theirs, blood soaking the sand. Bohemir stands amidst the carnage, his eyes blazing, a lion sated but unbowed. My lenses flash, 50% of our ground forces gone, thousands dead in hours. The war's brutality is a wound we'll never heal. Cairo looms ahead, its skyline a graveyard of shattered spires, the air thick with the stench of burning flesh and molten steel. My cybernetic eyes sting, catching glints of Fatimid defenses, stealth bunkers pulsing with neutron lasers, Hydra-class Specters prowling like cybernetic wolves. The generals lie. Painting these rebels as invaders has driven us to this slaughter, but Robert's intel haunts me. Rogue elements arming the Fatimids, synthetic humans infiltrating governments, a plot to fracture Earth for a fabricated war. There's no time to dwell. The battle's here, and Bohemir's our god of carnage. Form up. Bohemir roars, his battle armor gleaming under Cairo's blood-red sun, his banner a beacon of death. His predator eyes blaze, his voice a thunderclap that shakes the troops from their fear. We take Cairo. No mercy for their machines. His leadership is a storm, his ferocity unmatched, a lion charging from its cave. My lenses catch his presence electrifying the troops, their pulses spiking but steady under his command. He's not just leading, he's possessing us, forging us into a blade of pure violence. Nabal, in his exosuit, coordinates his synthetics, their anti-nanite pulses rippling through the battlefield, crippling Hydras mid-shift. My units are holding their stealth bunkers, he says, his calm a stark contrast to the chaos. My eyes try to scan him, but he's a shadow in my feed, a trusted companion I can't doubt. Belian, his armor scarred, grips his laser blade, his pulse at 185. Your synthetics better not falter, businessman, he snarls, his anger at Nabal's polished demeanor a constant spark. Focus. Bohemir snaps, his eyes blazing like suns. We hit their core defenses, bunkers, hydras, all of it. His command is absolute, and we charge into Cairo's heart, the ground trembling under our boots. Laser railguns scream, tearing through stealth tanks, their magnetic pulses shredding our ranks. A soldier beside me collapses, his armor melted by a Hydra's plasma bolt, his scream cut short. My blade hums, slicing through a Specter's core, sparks and blood spraying, but another takes its place, its close combat blade slashing my chest plate, pain searing through my augments. The Fatimids brainwashed civilian swarm, driven by psychoenergetic frequencies. Their eyes hollow as they hurl themselves at us. My rifle burns through them, each shot a stab of guilt. These are people twisted into weapons. They're not themselves. I shout, dodging a suicide charge. Bohemir doesn't flinch, his laser blade carving through a Hydra, his banner soaring over the carnage. Push forward. He roars, his voice a lifeline in the slaughter. His leadership is relentless, a predator's hunger driving us through the blood-soaked streets. We reach Cairo's iron bridge, a killing ground choked with bodies and wreckage. The Fatimids general, Ritwin, commands from the far side, his specters forming a wall of shifting steel. My eyes catch his banner, a blood-red crescent, as Hydras and stealth helicarriers dive, their lasers and magnetic weapons tearing through our flank. Charge! Bohemir screams, his armor a bulwark as he leads the assault, his blade and rifle a blur of death. The troops surge, inspired by his ferocity, crashing into the enemy like a tide of steel. The bridge is a slaughterhouse. Hydras shift to close combat mode, their blades slicing through armor, blood spraying like rain. My suit servos whine as I cut down a Spectre, its nanite core sparking, but a magnetic pulse hits, throwing me to the ground. Soldiers scream, torn apart by laser fire, their bodies piling in the river below, the water running crimson. Bohemir charges Ridwin's line, his banner flying over chaos, his attack so fierce it scatters the Fatimids. No retreat. He roars, and the troops rally, cutting down fleeing enemies, their blades and railguns relentless. My lenses flash. 60% of our forces gone, thousands dead. The bridge a grave. Ridwin's forces break, his specters falling under our onslaught, but a new wave hits, regular Fatimid troops, savage, gnashing their teeth, howling like beasts. My eyes catch anomalies, radiation in their blood, psychoenergetic signals twisting their minds. They wheel around us, firing laser bolts and magnetic shock waves, their attacks so brutal our lines falter. Soldiers flee over the nearest ridge, those too slow cut down without mercy. Hold! Bohemir bellows, his voice a god's command, his armor splashed with blood as he tears through the enemy, his banner a rallying cry. His leadership turns the tide, our troops reforming, charging with renewed fury. The din of battle rises to the heavens, missiles and lasers darken the sky. My rifle burns, cutting through a Fatimid soldier, his body collapsing in a heap. Bohemir's attack draws Ridwin's main force forward, and I see his plan, lure them into a trap. Now, he screams, and our special forces strike, robots and elite units hitting hidden bunkers, railguns obliterating them. The Fatimids falter, their lines breaking, and we pursue, massacring them up to the iron bridge. Bodies pile high, heads severed and staked as grim trophies, a warning to their allies. My lenses flash, 100,000 dead in Cairo alone, the city a charnel house. Bohemir stands amidst the carnage, his armor dripping blood, his eyes blazing like a god of war. Forward! He roars, and the troops scream his name, Bohemir, the wild lion, glorifying him as a savior. Nabal, watching from the rear, nods. I'm heading to Alexandria, he says. Robert's got intel, secure channels away from enemy spies.
His calm is unshaken.
Belian scoffs, his pulse at 190. You did well, businessman, he mutters. As we secure Cairo, the Fatimids' regular army encircles us, their eyes savage, driven by unseen signals. Defend the city. Bohemir orders, his leadership unyielding. We dig in, laser railguns and EMPs blazing, but the enemy's shockwaves hit, shattering our lines. Women and children, brainwashed, charged with knives, only to be cut down. My blade hums, slicing through flesh, each killer wound in my soul. The troops chant Bohemir's name, their god of war, as we slaughter, the streets running red. We dig up enemy corpses, their heads staked as trophies, a grim count of the fallen. The battle ends, Cairo ours, but the cost is incomprehensible. My lenses flash, millions dead, the city a ruin, its people broken. Bohemir stands tall, his banner blood-soaked, his leadership a fire that carried us through hell. But his eyes flicker with something darker. Grief, perhaps, for the slaughter he led. Nabal's synthetics held, but Belian's distrust lingers. The Fatimids, rebels painted as monsters, lie broken, but the war's horror clings to us, a shadow we can't escape. Chapter 5, Part 2, The Savage Siege. Cairo looms ahead, its skyline a graveyard of shattered spires, the air thick with the stench of burning flesh and molten steel. My cybernetic eyes sting, catching glints of Fatimid defenses, stealth bunkers pulsing with neutron lasers, Hydra-class Specters prowling like cybernetic wolves. The generals lie. Painting these rebels as invaders has driven us to this slaughter, but Robert's intel haunts me. Rogue elements arming the Fatimids, synthetic humans infiltrating governments, a plot to fracture Earth for a fabricated war. There's no time to dwell. The battle's here, and Bohemir's our god of carnage. Form up. Bohemir roars, his battle armor gleaming under Cairo's blood-red sun, his banner a beacon of death. His predator eyes blaze, his voice a thunderclap that shakes the troops from their fear. We take Cairo. No mercy for their machines. His leadership is a storm, his ferocity unmatched, a lion charging from its cave. My lenses catch his presence electrifying the troops, their pulses spiking but steady under his command. He's not just leading, he's possessing us, forging us into a blade of pure violence. Nabal, in his exosuit, coordinates his synthetics, their anti-nanite pulses rippling through the battlefield, crippling Hydras mid-shift. My units are holding their stealth bunkers, he says, his calm a stark contrast to the chaos. My eyes try to scan him, but he's a shadow in my feed, a trusted companion I can't doubt. Belian, his armor scarred, grips his laser blade, his pulse at 185. Your synthetics better not falter, businessman, he snarls, his anger at Nabal's polished demeanor a constant spark. Focus. Bohemir snaps, his eyes blazing like suns. We hit their core defenses, bunkers, hydras, all of it. His command is absolute, and we charge into Cairo's heart, the ground trembling under our boots. Laser railguns scream, tearing through stealth tanks, their magnetic pulses shredding our ranks. A soldier beside me collapses, his armor melted by a Hydra's plasma bolt, his scream cut short. My blade hums, slicing through a Specter's core, sparks and blood spraying, but another takes its place, its close combat blade slashing my chest plate, pain searing through my augments. The Fatimids brainwash civilian swarm, driven by psychoenergetic frequencies. Their eyes hollow as they hurl themselves at us. My rifle burns through them, each shot a stab of guilt. These are people twisted into weapons. They're not themselves. I shout, dodging a suicide charge. Bohemir doesn't flinch, his laser blade carving through a Hydra, his banner soaring over the carnage. Push forward. He roars, his voice a lifeline in the slaughter. His leadership is relentless, a predator's hunger driving us through the blood-soaked streets. We reach Cairo's iron bridge, a killing ground choked with bodies and wreckage. The Fatimids' general, Ritwin, commands from the far side, his specters forming a wall of shifting steel. My eyes catch his banner, a blood-red crescent, as Hydras and stealth helicarriers dive, their lasers and magnetic weapons tearing through our flank. Charge! Bohemir screams, his armor a bulwark as he leads the assault, his blade and rifle a blur of death. The troops surge, inspired by his ferocity, crashing into the enemy like a tide of steel. The bridge is a slaughterhouse. Hydras shift to closed combat mode, their blades slicing through armor, blood spraying like rain. My suit servos whine as I cut down a Spectre, its nanite core sparking, but a magnetic pulse hits, throwing me to the ground. Soldiers scream, torn apart by laser fire, their bodies piling in the river below, the water running crimson. Bohemir charges Ridwin's line, his banner flying over chaos, his attack so fierce it scatters the Fatimids. No retreat. He roars, and the troops rally, cutting down fleeing enemies, their blades and railguns relentless. My lenses flash. 60% of our forces gone, thousands dead. The bridge a grave. Ridwin's forces break, his Specters falling under our onslaught, but a new wave hits, regular Fatimid troops, savage, gnashing their teeth, howling like beasts. My eyes catch anomalies, radiation in their blood, psychoenergetic signals twisting their minds. They wheel round us, firing laser bolts and magnetic shockwaves, their attacks so brutal our lines falter. Soldiers flee over the nearest ridge, those too slow cut down without mercy. Hold! Bohemir bellows, his voice a god's command, his armor splashed with blood as he tears through the enemy, his banner a rallying cry. His leadership turns the tide, our troops reforming, charging with renewed fury. The din of battle rises to the heavens, missiles and lasers darken the sky. My rifle burns, cutting through a Fatimid soldier, his body collapsing in a heap. Bohemir's attack draws Ridwin's main force forward, and I see his plan, lure them into a trap. Now, he screams, and our special forces strike, robots and elite units hitting hidden bunkers, railguns obliterating them. The Fatimids falter, their lines breaking, and we pursue, massacring them up to the Iron Bridge. Bodies pile high, heads severed and staked as grim trophies, a warning to their allies. My lenses flash, 100,000 dead in Cairo alone, the city a charnel house. Bohemir stands amidst the carnage, his armor dripping blood, his eyes blazing like a god of war. Forward! He roars, and the troops scream his name, Bohemir, the wild lion, glorifying him as a savior. Nabal, watching from the rear, nods. I'm heading to Alexandria, he says. Robert's got intel, secure channels away from enemy spies. His calm is unshaken. Belian scoffs, his pulse at 190. You did well, businessman, he mutters. As we secure Cairo, the Fatimids' regular army encircles us, their eyes savage, driven by unseen signals. Defend the city. Bohemir orders, his leadership unyielding. We dig in, laser railguns and EMPs blazing, but the enemy's shockwaves hit, shattering our lines. Women and children, brainwashed, charged with knives, only to be cut down. My blade hums, slicing through flesh, each kill a wound in my soul. The troops chant Bohemir's name, their god of war, as we slaughter, the streets running red. We dig up enemy corpses, their heads staked as trophies, a grim count of the fallen. The battle ends, Cairo ours, but the cost is incomprehensible. My lenses flash, millions dead, the city a ruin, its people broken. Bohemir stands tall, his banner blood-soaked, his leadership a fire that carried us through hell. But his eyes flicker with something darker, grief, perhaps, for the slaughter he led. Nabal's synthetics held, but Belian's distrust lingers. The Fatimids, rebels painted as monsters, lie broken, but the war's horror clings to us, a shadow we can't escape. Chapter 6, Part 1. Cairo's Crimson Ruin. Cairo is a charnel house, its towers shattered into blackened graves under a merciless blood-red sun. The air reeks of charred flesh and molten steel, the streets slick with blood and nanite sludge. My cybernetic eyes burn, catching glints of broken Hydra-class Specters, their bladed forms frozen midship by Nabal's anti-nanite pulses. The Fatimids, branded invaders by the general's lies, lie slaughtered, heads staked on pikes, bodies pierced by laser arrows, others burned alive in searing flames. Our victory is a wound, a testament to war's horror, and the cost is etched in the piles of corpses choking the Nile. Bohemir stands amidst the carnage, his battle armor dripping crimson, his predator eyes blazing like twin suns. He is a god of war, a lion who tore through the enemy, but even he can't mask the weight of this bloodbath. The Origin and our airships have retreated from orbit, driven off by surface-based neutron lasers that shred anything in the sky. My lenses flash with the memory, beams lancing through our frigates, hulls glowing red before exploding into debris. Starfleet's grounded, leaving us to fight in Cairo's ruins, where the Fatimids' stealth tech and subspace implosion devices turn every street into a killing ground. The troops huddle in a shattered plaza, their armor scarred, their faces gaunt. Supplies are gone, water vaporized, food stores hit by EMP swarms. Hunger gnaws, and desperation breeds horror. Soldiers carve into protected corpses, those spared the subspace radiation, eating flesh and drinking blood to survive the sun's wrath. My stomach churns, but survival demands savagery. Bohemir's voice cuts through the chaos, a thunderclap that silences the moans of the dying. Get Nabal here now. We need Robert's intel. What's driving these bastards? His leadership is iron, his eyes blazing with fury and resolve, pulling the troops from despair. My lenses catch a tremor in his hands, a flicker of grief. He's a lion, but the slaughter weighs heavy. Robert's intel haunts us, rogue elements arming the Fatimids, synthetic humans infiltrating governments, a plot to fracture Earth for a fabricated war. Nabal strides into the plaza, his exosuit pristine despite the blood-soaked sand. Bohemir, your victory was brutal, magnificent, he says, his voice steady but heavy. Cairo was a paradise once, now it's ruin, death, slaughter. My heart bleeds for the fallen. His sincerity softens the air, and the troops nod, their faith in him growing. Even Belian, his armor scarred, his pulse at 160, offers a grudging nod. You pulled through, Nabal, he says, his anger at the businessman's polish fading. What about Robert's spies? Did they find the ones behind this? Nabal's eyes meet ours, calm but resolute. After your offensive crushed their specters, the Fatimids fled to their fortress on Mars, Arcadia Planitia. My synthetics tracked them, and Robert's sources confirm they're wielding tech no rebel could afford. Luna's fallen to our forces, barely a fight like they abandoned it. But Mars is a stalemate. Their colonels holding back, waiting for heavier hardware, sparing lives for now. Bohemir's jaw tightens, his eyes blazing. Mars can wait. Damascus is next. It's too vital. But how do they have this many troops, this much tech? His voice is a growl, his leadership unyielding despite the suspicion gnawing at him. My lenses catch his vitals, pulse steady at 80, adrenaline surging. The generals of the Unified Strategic Defense Council, USDC, hail him as Ares reborn, but he's a lion sensing betrayal. The generals are thrilled with your win, Nabal adds. You inspire them, Bohemir, a god of war. A deafening boom shakes the plaza, the ground trembling as a soldier screams, subspace implosion device. My eyes flash, a weapon that collapses subspace fields, a micro-black hole that obliterates matter, cities, water, life. Shields up. Bohemir roars, his command instant, his leadership a lifeline. Scalar waves flare, encasing our position in a shimmering barrier as the implosion hits. The blast is silent but apocalyptic, swallowing a district beyond our shields. My lenses capture the horror, civilians shriveled to husks, skin cracked like desert clay, eyes boiled away under the brutal sun. The Nile's banks are dry, water vaporized, the air choked with radioactive dust. Damn them. Bohemir screams, his voice cracking, his eyes wild with rage and grief. How did this happen? My lenses flash, millions dead in seconds, entire sectors erased, our supplies gone. The Fatimids, even in defeat, wield weapons that starve and slaughter. Betrayal, he growls, his leadership unshaken, but his face etched with pain. Someone's feeding them this tech. Nabal's face pales, a rare crack in his calm. My synthetics are scanning for the source, he says. We'll find those devices. His resolve strengthens us, and Belian's nod is firm, his trust in Nabal nearly complete after his tech's life-saving work. The plaza's a nightmare. Beheaded Fatimids, their heads impaled on pikes, civilians pierced by laser arrows, pinned to crumbling walls, others burned alive, their screams swallowed by the flames. Soldiers, driven by hunger, tear into corpses, eating flesh, drinking blood, their faces smeared with gore. Bohemir stands amidst it, his banner high, his voice a roar, live to fight another day. The troops scream, Bohemir, the wild lion, glorifying him as a god, even as they butcher to survive. My blade, still warm from combat, hangs heavy, each kill a scar on my soul. The hollow signal, Chapter 6, Part 2, The Butcher's Triumph. Cairo's ruins smolder, the air thick with the stench of death and burning circuits. My cybernetic eyes sting, catching glints of shattered Hydra-class Specters, their forms frozen by Nabal's anti-night pulses. The Fatimids' regular army encircles us, their eyes savage, driven by psychoenergetic signals that twist their minds in the feral rage. Starfleet's airships are gone, driven from orbit by neutron lasers that turn the sky into a killing field. We're grounded, trapped in a city of ash and blood, our supplies destroyed by EMP swarms, the Nile dry, the sun a merciless executioner. Soldiers carve corpses for flesh, their hunger a horror born of necessity. Bohemir stands at the forefront, his battle armor a blood-soaked monolith, his predator eyes blazing like twin suns. His leadership is a storm, a god of war commanding us through hell. Defend the city. Bohemir roars, his voice shaking the ruins. No mercy for their machines. His banner soars, a beacon of death, his ferocity igniting the troops. My lenses catch their pulses spiking, fear burned away by his resolve. Nabal's synthetic swarm, their pulses crippling Hydra's midshift from bladed horrors to plasma snipers. My units are holding their bunkers, Nabal says, his calm a lifeline. Belian, his armor scarred, grips his laser blade, his pulse at 160. You're proving yourself, Nabal, he says, his trust in the businessman nearly complete, his anger fading after countless lives saved. The crew echoes his faith. Nabal's take a bulwark against the slaughter. Bohemir charges, his laser rifle and blade a symphony of death, cutting through a Hydra's core, sparks and blood spraying. Forward! He screams, and we surge into Cairo's heart, laser railgun screaming, EMP swarms crackling. The Fatimids hit back, their specters slicing through our ranks, blades tearing armor like flesh. A soldier beside me falls, his chest carved open, blood boiling under the sun. My blade hums, slicing a specter in half, but another takes its place, its plasma bolt searing my shoulder, pain flooding my augments. The enemy's troops gnash their teeth, howling, their laser bolts and magnetic shock waves darkening the sky. My eyes catch their radiation signatures, psychoenergetic signals driving them to madness. They charge, a savage tide, and our lines buckle, soldiers fleeing over rubble. He tears through the enemy, his blade slicing a specter's core, his rifle burning through brainwashed troops. The troops scream his name, a god of war, and we charge, a wave of steel and blood. Another subspace implosion hits, its void swallowing a district. Bodies shriveled to husk, the sand fused to glass. My lenses flash, millions more dead, the city a desert of death. Shields. Bohemir screams, his command instant, scalar waves flaring. The troops huddle, but the horror grows, civilians, brainwashed, rush us with knives, only to be cut down. Women and children fall, their bodies hacked apart, our blades dripping. Soldiers eat from protected corpses, their faces smeared with gore, a barbaric act to survive. My rifle burns, each kill a wound in my soul. Belian returns, dragging a severed head, Ridwin, the Fatimid general, his face frozen in terror. Got their commander, he says, tossing it at Bohemir's feet, a savage trophy. Your synthetics pinned him, Nabal. His trust in Nabal is solid now, shared by the crew. Nabal nods, his calm unshaken. My tech will find the rest, he says, his voice a beacon. The battle rages, lasers and EMPs tearing through the city. We stake heads, dig up corpses, their bodies torn for flesh. The din rises to the heavens, missiles darkening the sky. Bohemir's plan unfolds, his charge draws the Fatimids forward, and our special forces strike, robots and elites hitting hidden bunkers, railguns obliterating them. The enemy breaks, their lines collapsing, and we pursue, massacring them through Cairo's streets. My lenses flash. 100,000 dead in hours, the city a river of blood. Damascus hears of our savagery and surrenders, its gates opening under the weight of our slaughter. Cairo is ours, but the cost is unimaginable. Millions dead, the Nile dry, survivors broken. Bohemir stands amidst the ruins, his banner blood-soaked, his eyes haunted but unbowed. To Mars he growls, his leadership a fire that burns through the horror. Nabal prepares to meet Robert in Alexandria, their secure channels hunting the shadows, arming the Fatimids. Belian grips his blade, his trust in Nabal complete, ready for the next fight. The troops chant, Bohemir, the wild lion, glorifying him as a god, but the void whispers, this victory is a curse, and the war's horror will consume us all.
Chapter 7. Cairo's Starved Ruins.
Cairo lies in ruin, its spires crumbled into graves under a blood-red sun, the air thick with ash and the stench of rotting flesh. My cybernetic eyes burn, catching glints of shattered Hydra-class Specters, their nanite cores frozen by Nabal's anti-nanite pulses. The Fatimids, branded invaders by the general's lies, are broken. Heads staked on pikes, bodies pierced by laser arrows, others burned alive in molten slag. The Nile is dry, pulverized by subspace implosion devices, the city a desert of death. Starfleet and airships are gone, driven from orbit by neutron lasers that shred the sky, leaving us stranded in this slaughterhouse. IMP swarms have blacked out communications, destroyed our supplies, and starvation drives our soldiers to horror. They carve protected corpses, eating flesh and drinking blood to survive the sun's wrath. My blade, still warm from combat, hangs heavy, each kill a scar on my soul. Bohemir stands amidst the carnage, his battle armor dripping crimson, his predator eyes blazing like twin furnaces. His leadership is a godlike fire, holding us together despite the nightmare. Get Nabal here. His resolve is iron, but my lenses catch a tremor in his hands, grief for the millions dead, for the cannibalism we've been forced into. The troops, their faces smeared with gore, look to him as Ares reborn, a lion starved for vengeance. Nabal strides into the plaza, his exosuit pristine, his eyes heavy with the horrors he's witnessed. Bohemir, your victory was brutal, but this... He gestures to the shriveled husks beyond our scalar shields, victims of the subspace implosion that vaporized Cairo's water. This is why I'm with you to the end. Belek Ghazi must answer for this. His voice is steady, his resolve unshaken, and the troops, even Belian, nod in unison. Belian's pulse is steady at 150. His anger at Nabal's businessmen polish gone. Nabal's tech has saved us too often. His synthetics a lifeline in this hell. You're one of us now, Belian says, a rare warmth in his voice. Nabal's nod is firm, his commitment to hunt Belek driven by the starvation and slaughter around us. Robert's spies track Belek to Mars, Arcadia Planitia, Nabal says. The Fatimids have a fortress there, armed with tech no rebel should have, possibly more subspace implosion devices. Luna's ours, taken with no fight, but Mars is their last stand. Robert's intel confirms rogue elements are behind this, feeding them weapons to fracture Earth. His words echo Robert's warning, synthetic humans infiltrating governments, a plot for a fabricated war. My lenses hum, but the horror of Cairo drowns it, corpses eaten, water gone, the city a tomb. Bohemir's eyes blaze, his voice a growl. Belek's the key, maybe the shadow pulling the strings. We take him alive, put him on trial. His leadership is unyielding, a lion sensing prey, but the weight of Cairo's horrors lingers in his tightened jaw. The generals are calling me a god of war, he says, bitterness creeping in. They don't see the blood. The troops chant, Bohemir, the wild lion, their faith unshaken, even as they tear into flesh to survive. A boom shakes the plaza, a subspace implosion's aftershock. My lenses flash. Another district gone, millions more shriveled to husk. Their skin cracked like desert clay. Shields. Bohemir roars, his command instant, scalar waves flaring. The blast spares us, but the city is a wasteland, the air radioactive, the sun a merciless executioner. Soldiers carve deeper into corpses, their hands bloody, their eyes hollow. We move to Mars. Bohemir screams, his leadership a fire that burns through despair. No more of this. Nabal nods, his synthetic scanning for more devices, his resolve binding him to us. Belian grips his laser blade, ready for the next fight, his trust in Nabal absolute. The horror clings, cannibalism, slaughter, a city dead. But Bohemir's will drives us forward, toward Mars and Belek's doom. Arcadia Planitia stretches before us, a red wasteland scarred by war, its skies choked with dust and the whine of laser railguns. The Aragene, battered but unbowed, leads our fleet, its hull gleaming under Mars' thin light. My cybernetic eyes burn, catching glints of Fatimid defenses, stealth bunkers pulsing with neutron lasers, Hydra-class Specters prowling like cybernetic demons. Belek Ghazi, the shadow behind this war, hides in their fortress, and Bohemir's a lion starved for his blood. His battle armor gleams, his predator eyes blazing like twin suns, his leadership a storm that drives us into hell. We end this. He roars, his voice shaking the bridge. No boots on the ground, air superiority first. Belek alive, for trial. The fleet moves, airships and heavy sextern tanks deploying with a thunderous hum. Nabal, now brother-in-arms, stands beside Bohemir, his synthetics ready. My units will cripple their hydras, he says, his calm a beacon. After Cairo, I'm here to stop Belek's horrors. His resolve, born of the subspace implosion that starved millions, binds him to us. Belian, his armor scarred, nods firmly, his pulse at 145. You've earned your place, Nabal, he says, his trust complete. The crew echoes it. Nabal's take a lifeline through the slaughter. Take their satellites. Bohemir orders his command a blade. Laser railguns scream, obliterating Fatimid satellites, their debris raining like ash. Our airships dominate, neutron lasers no threat here, and we pound their bunkers with hell torpedoes, the ground erupting in molten slag. Hydras emerge, shifting from bladed horrors to plasma snipers, but Nabal's synthetics freeze to mid-shift, our tanks rolling over their husks. My blade hums, cutting a Specter's core, sparks and blood spraying, but the enemy's fortress looms, its stealth shields flickering under our assault. We've got them. Bohemir roars, his leadership unyielding, a god of war carving through chaos. My lenses flash, strategic points secured, the Fatimids cornered in their fortress. Suit up. He growls, his eyes blazing. Elite squad with me. We take Belek alive, save thousands. His voice is a vow, his resolve to avoid Cairo's slaughter of fire in his soul. I want to protest. Too many have died under his command, but he's a lion, and I follow. Nabal, Belian, and our special units gear up, our battle armor humming as we prepare to infiltrate. We dig a tunnel under the fortress, the ground trembling with distant railgun fire. My eyes catch glints of enemy patrols, their specters falling to our silent blades. We reach the command bridge, a steel heart pulsing with tech. Belek Ghazi stands there, his generals at his side, his face gaunt but defiant. You thought you'd win on Earth, he snarls, slamming his fist on a console. I needed time to recalculate, to bring the pirates. My lenses hum. He's the shadow, maybe the mastermind, his systems predicting our moves. Bohemir's voice is low, deadly. Close combat. I want Belek alive. The fight erupts, a bomb of violence in the command room. Belek's Specters, elite and deadly, charge, their blades slicing air. My rifle burns, cutting one down, but another grazes my arm, pain searing through my augments. Bohemir's a whirlwind, his laser blade and rifle a symphony of death, his banner high. Nabal fights like a demon, his exosuit weaving through enemies, his precision shocking us. He's no businessman here, but a warrior. He reaches Belek, his blade flashing, and in a single strike severs his head. Blood sprays, the head rolling, and I scream, no! We needed him alive. Bohemir, locked in combat with a Spectre, roars, damn it, Nabal! Belek's generals flee, their forces collapsing. Nabal's face is pale, his voice raw. I'm sorry. I saw Cairo, the starvation, the corpses we ate. I couldn't hold back. His hatred for Belek, born of the subspace horrors, is a wound we all share. Belian claps his shoulder, his trust unshaken. "You ended it," he says. "That's enough." The Fatimids surrender, their fanaticism broken by Belec's death. My lenses flash, thousands saved, the fortress ours, but the cost is etched in the blood-soaked sand. Arcadia falls, Mars secured, but the horror lingers. Millions dead on Earth, Cairo's water gone, soldiers forced to cannibalism. Bohemir stands amidst the ruins, his banner dripping crimson, his eyes haunted but unbowed. "The war's over," he growls, his leadership a fire that carried us through hell. Nabal, now one of us, vows to hunt the remaining shadows with Robert. Belian grips his blade, ready for peace or war. The troops chant, "Bohemir, the wild lion." But the void whispers, this victory is a scar, and the horrors of Cairo will haunt us forever. The hollow signal, Chapter 8, The Cunning Shadow. Earth's skies are clear, a mockery of the blood-soaked sands we left behind. Cairo's ruins haunt my cybernetic eyes. Shattered spires, shriveled corpses, the Nile's dry bed where subspace implosion devices vaporize water, leaving millions to starve. The war's over, the Fatimids crushed, their shadow leader Belian dead by Nabal's blade, but victory tastes like ash. My lenses flash with horrors. Soldiers carving flesh from protected corpses, drinking blood to survive the sun's wrath, their faces smeared with gore as they chanted Bohemir's name, the Wild Lion. The Unified Strategic Defense Council, USDC, buried it all under a blackout, the truth too vile for the world. We're hailed as heroes on our return, ticker tape raining over starships, but the cheers ring hollow. The war scars cling like a curse, and questions fester in the silence. Bohemir stands on the Erigen's bridge, his battle armor swapped for a dress uniform, its metals gleaming but heavy. His predator eyes, once blazing like twin suns, are dimmed, etched with exhaustion. He led us through hell, through Cairo's slaughter, Damascus's fall, Arcadia Planetia's bloodbath, his godlike ferocity a beacon in the chaos. Now, he's a lion at rest, but the weight of millions dead, of cannibalism forced by starvation, lingers in his tightened jaw. "Let the soldiers celebrate," he says, his voice low, strained. "They earned it." The troops, their faces no longer bloody, raise glasses, but their eyes are haunted, reflecting the horrors we can't speak of. Nabal, now a brother in arms, steps forward, his exosuit replaced by a sleek suit, his calm unshaken. "This war was brutal, Vergon," he says, his voice heavy with the memory of Cairo's devastation. "I'm working on an energy device to restore Egypt's water, bring life back to the desert. It's the least I can do." His sincerity binds us closer, his tech having saved us countless times, anti-night pulses that froze hydras, synthetics that pinned Belek. Belian, his green uniform pristine, claps Nabal's shoulder, his pulse steady at 140. "You were a damn asset, Nabal," he says, his trust absolute, no trace of his former anger at Nabal's businessman polish. The crew nods, their faith in him a lifeline forged in blood. Bohemir's eyes soften, a rare warmth. "You pulled us through, Nabal. Change out those comms devices with Vergon. Special channels, secure. Robert says the group behind this, the Panther, whatever they call it, took a hit, but they're eager to strike again." His voice hardens, the lion stirring. "Better to have friends than enemies, and you're a friend." The generals lie, branding the Fatimids as invaders to hide rogue elements arming them. Hangs heavy. Robert's intel a shadow in our minds, synthetic humans infiltrating governments, a plot to fracture Earth for a fabricated war. Nabal nods, his eyes resolute. Enemies disguised as friends are the real threat now. The game's set, Bohemir, will need to watch our backs. His commitment is unshaken, driven by Cairo's horrors, the starvation that forced us to butcher and eat. My lenses hum, but the memory of shriveled husks, of soldiers tearing into flesh, drowns the data. "The ministries and commands are satisfied," Bohemir says, his voice steady but weary. "We did what they asked, for better or worse." The celebration begins, a grand hall in New Geneva filled with admirals and officers, their uniforms glittering under chandeliers. Darian Montes and Lurian Vex, high-ranking USDC officials, join us, their presence a weight. "Bohemir, you're a marvel," Darian says, his voice warm but calculating. Cairo's fall, those close combat specters, Hydras shifting from blades to plasma snipers. How'd you do it? Bohemir recounts the slaughter, his words clipped, while Belian adds details, his trust in Nabal shining through. The officers lean in, praising the wild lion, but my eyes drift to Robert and Nabal, standing apart, their voices low. My cybernetic lenses zoom, lip-reading their silent words. Robert's face is calm, but his eyes gleam with a predator's cunning. "The Czars send their regards," he says, his lips barely moving. "Everything went as planned. Preparations for the coming years are set, as we discussed." Nabal's smile is sly, a shadow in his eyes. "My spies hit high-value targets. We're getting deeper. You get the government contracts to rebuild the Middle East, starting with Egypt, and a military rank to place our boys in key positions. The Czars are pleased." Robert's lips curl. "Sorry about your loss. Those two were dear to you. Don't worry, I've got backups. I can create them anew." My blood runs cold. The Czars? A plan? A sacrifice? My lenses hum, trying to parse the words, but the blackout shadow looms. Too much is hidden. Who are these Czars, and why was everything as planned? The war's horrors flash. Cairo's shriveled corpses, the Nile's dry bed, soldiers eating flesh to survive EMP blackouts and neutron lasers. Was Belek's death, Nabal's strike, part of something larger? I shake it off, the celebration's noise drowning my thoughts. We're heroes, the war's over, and Nabal's one of us, his energy device a beacon of hope for Egypt. But the void whispers, something's wrong, a cunning shadow lurking beneath the victory. Bohemir raises a glass, his voice steady but heavy. "To the fallen, may Earth now prosper." The hall cheers, but his eyes meet mine, a flicker of doubt mirroring my own. Belian laughs with the officers, his trust in Nabal unshaken, oblivious to the conversation I've glimpsed. Nabal and Robert join the toast, their smiles perfect, but my lenses linger on their lips, the words Czars and sacrifice burning in my mind. The war's done, business resumes, but the horror clings, millions dead, cities razed, questions unanswered. We're halfway happy, ready to rebuild, but the shadow of the Panther or something worse watches from the dark, and I fear the game is far from over.